Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Star Nation's organization and to my weekly show, Communications from Home. Yes, we're on at a different time today, Tuesday, March 26th. We're on at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 Central, and 9:30 p.m. India time. Yeah, this is it's been kind of exciting actually, and I've been looking forward to this for oh gosh, a whole week. So yeah. So here in Toma, Wisconsin, we're doing a really good, it's beautiful weather. Oh my gosh, it's so nice here, sunny, and it's a little cool, but hey, for March, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Yeah. So we're going to get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way. Ayesha is, I believe, running late. And so, we're doing this time zone thing, right? Trying to figure out exactly the time to be able to get together. And so I have a message out to her. And so I'm sure she'll join us as soon as she can. I'm just going to check something here. I'm just going to let her know that we're live. There we go. And speaking of being live, how about if we share? Sharing the live stream. I'm inviting you to do so. I'm doing the same thing, and we'll take a little bit of time to do that. It doesn't take much, just a little bit of a pause, and I'll look for the live stream. I know it's here because it says live. All right. It's kind of far down. Yeah, scrolling. I did a lot of postings the other day. So we're going to share. I'm sharing it over to my news feed so that my friends know that I'm live streaming. And I'm live streaming my show, Communications from Home. Oops, gotta spell. Spelling does count. And asking them to join. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's it. I had to double check. I just had to double check the spelling. All right. There we go. All right. So, the topic for today is about the future of spirituality. And Ayesha, who is from India, she is a spiritual teacher, and she's been teaching for a lot of years. She's seen a lot of changes, right? And I'm going to give you a little about her in her bio. But first of all, we're just going to say hello to a couple people here. Julie Shumway is in the Shumway Hill. Sorry about that, Julie. Is in the house. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hey, Peggy Bull's here. Hello, Peggy. Good to have you here. And Christina's here too. Good to have you here too, Christina. I'm so glad you're here in the chat with us. And it looks like Stephanie has been on it. She's got Ayesha's links in there. Good one. Thank you, Stephanie, for doing that. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ayesha, and hopefully she'll be able to join us soon. And if not, then we'll have a discussion about the future of spirituality. Now, Ayesha is, what do I want to say? She's a very gifted clairvoyant, okay? And she says that it's best to describe her as a messenger of light. The many gifts and missions she's been entrusted with defines her journey as a soul through many incarnations And some of them have been phenomenal. And I'm hoping that she's going to be able to share some of those stories with us, right? Yeah. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get my messenger up, and I'm going to look for her. And we're just going to let her know, please. There. One of the things that you never really know about technology, right, is how well it's going to work. And so, I'm hoping that she's going to get that message and join us as soon as she can. So a little bit about Ayesha here. She says that Ayesha began her work as a spiritual guide over 20 years ago. And her journey as a gifted soul began as early as since she was 2 years old. 2 years old. How many of us can remember, right? How many of us can remember what it was like at 2 years old? Well, she can. And so with extraordinary intuition and clairvoyance that was enabled her to communicate and access multiple dimensions in ease since childhood, she has always loved to share her experiences with all. And yet when faced with intolerance and misunderstood for her abilities, and how many of us have gone through that, right? It inspired her instead to try and analyze her abilities and convey the message in a more practical and incomprehensible way. So in other words, she was trying to find a way. Okay, she's replying to me. So we're going to see. Yeah, see, it's a time zone thing. So I'm just going to reply to her, okay? A time zone converter. And that's okay. I'm just going to ask her. I'm just going to, sorry about that, guys. I'm just going to ask her. All right. So at least she got my message. Yay. Now let's see. Yeah. God, India is a large country too, right? And so when I did the time zone converter, it gave me, it looks like an hour difference. Oh, and she can't join us. Rats. Okay, well, what to do, right? What to do? Let me think about this. Yeah, she was all set and ready for an hour later. So it's a time zone thing. All right, so see, 9:15. Rats, huh? You know what she's doing right now? She's feeding the baby, and then she has a meeting after. Let's see. She says that she can join us at 9:15 her time. So that's an hour from now. It's 11:15. It's going to bite into Polly Joe's time. Okay. You know what? We've been trying to get this interview done since Paul Krauss, because Paul Krauss actually knows Ayesha, and he was going to interview her on his show. Was it last week? And they had such a hard time technology-wise, she couldn't get on. And now today we have this time zone thing. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do. Thanks, you guys. I have to make a decision. I think what I'm going to do, and I have to apologize to Polly Joe, because we're going to have to splash over into her show. I'm just going to let her know. I think we will do the interview. Let's see, it's 10:11 here, and she's going to do it at 9:15 her time. So, so basically we would be meeting back here in an hour. And that would be 9:15. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. All right. So we may as well use a little bit of this time to introduce her a bit, okay? So that when she comes on, we can go right into the interview and let you guys really be prepared. Those of you who can come back, okay, and join me in just a little bit, okay? So it's a time zone thing, guys. It really is. And it's still Mercury retrograde. Can you tell? Too funny. All right, so we left off at Christina, and Dawn is here too. Hello, Dawn. And Linda Jensen from Wisconsin. Hello, Linda Jensen. Good to have you here. Chantel is here too, and Jessica. Look at all you guys showing up for Ayesha. Peggy, I'm doing the card draw this afternoon, and that's for the group. Okay, it's for the group. So, yeah. And prayer, prayers are always good, especially right now, trying to get this interview done. And Pat says, good morning. Good morning, Pat. Okay, so thank you for that, Stephanie. She says that, yes, I'm not doing the card draw. An interview with a teacher from India. And it's a time zone thing. It really is. Communication, right? Okay, so let me finish introducing Ayesha, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this particular one and start again, because it's going to be a whole hour, and I don't want to keep you guys on for an hour and then for another 30 minutes or so while she tells us all about herself. Okay, so I am going to finish doing her introduction, and then you guys can. I know that a lot of you are followers of Ayesha, and so I'm hoping that you can make the time to come back in an hour to join us for the actual interview, okay? And for those of you who don't know Ayesha, let me explain a little bit about her, and then that way you can make the decision on whether you can make the time to come back in an hour to do this. And then I have to apologize to Polly Joe, because we're going to be overlapping, and we've never done this before on our shows for Star Nation. So, okay, here we go. A little bit more about Ayesha. And take a drink of water. I think that's a good thing. All right. All right, so she was growing up. Ayesha was trying to find a way to be able to use her gifts in a more practical way, because like many of us, she was having difficulty with those close to her understanding her and understanding her gifts. And so she pursued unconventional way of life, and launched herself as a corporate trainer. Can you believe that? A corporate trainer for leading multinational companies, and took that as a stepping stone to becoming a researcher in scientific theories such as quantum physics and the chaos theory. She discovered a unique scientific motivational system called the universal truth of life, and her mission has since revolved around bringing the deeper concepts of life to the general public, as she calls them, the more common person, rather than trying to fit into a box that others were trying to get her to fit into. And what she did was she applied her gifts in a more unique way, and actually studying science, right? So, taking her spiritual gifts and combining them with her studies in science. She says she was always gravitating towards her spiritual abilities, as it was hard, if not impossible, to avoid. And I think that many of us could probably identify with that too. Which was clearly to see and communicate with the higher dimensions. And her spirit guides, guardian angel, and ascended masters kept insisting that she merged her spiritual life with her current work. And so she was getting help, right? Getting help from her spiritual team, and how to use her gifts and her abilities as a part of her research work, scientific stuff. And so she went back to the drawing board, she says, and researching on how the supernatural world can, in fact, become a catalyst for mankind to evolve into their fullest potential by implementing their spiritual gifts and belief system into their lives here. She says that this soon became the most thrilling and path-breaking discovery thus far. All right, so this is kind of the crux of what our conversation with her is going to be about. So I'm going to repeat a part of that, okay? She says that she went back to the drawing board and researching on how the supernatural world can, in fact, become a catalyst for mankind to evolve into their fullest potential by implementing their spiritual gifts and belief system into their lives here now, right? And so she says that her journey diversified through noetic science. That's a scientific approach towards studying the paranormal. And she also studied parapsychology. She says it intensified her need for her abilities and experience with thousands around the world from a new perspective. And so she was able to take that information and start sharing it out. She says a scientific spiritual system that can empower anyone to becoming a powerful, evolving soul, to face life here with much more control over one's abilities, and yet conform to a magnificent connection with the universe, right? Yeah. And so that's how she started doing her tours and bringing this information to people to all over the world. And so she's going to actually be in the United States and Canada soon, and she's going to be in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I believe the dates in May. We'll get those dates from her when she comes on with us. And she's also going to be in Missouri. And so to be able to hear from her perspective how we're evolving as souls and how our gifts and our belief systems can evolve with us. And so that is the future of spirituality. And we're going to get to the actual story from her directly in about an hour. Okay. So if you can come back and join me for Communications from Home, I'll start a new Be Live app link for you guys, and so we'll get that into the groups. And so if you can join us, I really would appreciate it. I think the information that she's bringing is going to be very instrumental in how we view our world and how we view our gifts and how we apply that in our lives. So let me catch up with the people in the chat room to make sure that everybody is okay. So Stephanie says, I missed that. My connection is choppy. Oh, shucks, huh? Darn it. Which part, I wonder? Okay. So Ayesha is going to be back with us for the actual interview in an hour. So for those in the Eastern time zone, right? That would be 11:20. No, it's 11:20 now. It'd be 12:20, right? For you guys? Is that right? I think that's right. It's so it'd be 11:20 by you right now, and so it'd be 12:20 that Ayesha would be joining us. Okay. And for those of us in the Central Time Zone, that would be 11:20. Okay. And I know that I got to get with Polly Joe before her show starts, so I can apologize to her. And you know what? We're going to have the video, the interviewed, recorded. So if you can't join us, you can always catch it on the recording. And for those followers of Ayesha, I'm hoping that you're going to be able to come back with us in an hour. And she is going to be taking questions. So, so if you have anything for her, we'll be here. Right. Okay. So I'll see you guys back here in an hour. All right. And we're going to get the link out there for you guys, and we're going to make this work. All right. Okay. So until we see each other in an hour. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks a lot for being patient. We'll see you in a bit.